Well, there's something a little bit wrong with this picture. That is an Italian car, but we are not in Italy. In fact, that is an Alfa Romeo, but it's not a sports car or a fast sedan. It is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, the company's first ever SUV, and named after the iconic Italian mountain pass, but we are nowhere near the Mediterranean. In fact, we're in Northern Ireland of all places to drive it for the first time. So, this should be a little bit interesting. The Stelvio is the second new model to be developed by Alfa's Skunk Works teams as part of a $6 billion revival plan for the brand, with a desire for it to fight head-on with the likes of Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi. It follows on from the Giulia sedan that arrived in Australian showrooms earlier this year, and is the first SUV from the Italian brand in its 108-year history. That is, if you discount the copycat Willys Jeep, called Matter, that it created for the Italian army in the 1950s. Unlike the Giulia, which launched with a high-performance Quadrifoglio edition, the Stelvio has flipped that around the other way. We're driving the cooking versions, the basic Super and the diesel version. The 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine produces 149 kilowatts and 330 newton metres, while the 2.2-litre turbo diesel engine generates slightly more, 156 kilowatts and 450 newton metres. Both are hooked up to a rear-biased all-wheel drive transmission with an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Well, there's a few detail changes inside the cabin as well, even though it is rather familiar from the Giulia. It still has that Alfa Romeo-centric twin-pod instrument cluster, and there's a great infotainment system in the middle of the dash, but it's more horizontal than it is where the Giulia is more curved towards the driver. But of course this is an SUV, it's designed for 4 people, not just the bloke behind the steering wheel. And for that, there is a pretty decent amount of space. There's also good vision, even though it's got quite a shallow rear windscreen. As for how it drives, naturally, it's an Alfa Romeo, so it's a little bit sportier than the rest of the compact SUV class. The steering on it is really sharp and it's quite precise. And the ride on it is beautifully balanced. It's got this great body control over the bumps, but it also sits really flat in the corners. As for the engines, well, it's really quite refined. It's got plenty of pep when you need it to, but it's quiet and relaxed and effortless to drive. The Stelvio uses the same underpinnings as the Giulia and is designed to be among the most sportiest of the mid-sized luxury SUVs, up against the likes of the Porsche Macan and Jaguar F-Pace. It is due to land in local showrooms around March next year and will command a price premium over equivalent Giulia models, with the starting price expected to be under $70,000.